Hey, hey, hey.
What's up? Good evening, everybody.
Man, look at that stranger.
Long time no see.
What's up, the one and only? Palmetto, Cat, Demon. What's up, buddy? We had somebody else in here. Hillbilly. What's up, buddy? So, first off, those of you that did not know, we got a strike on our channel. So we were shut down for a little while. Yeah, fun times. Fun times. So apparently it was for medical misinformation. Okay. So I'm going to give you some accurate medical information. If you get hit by a car, it's going to fucking hurt. Okay.
Well, it definitely will hurt the car.
If you go take a shit, it's going to stink. If you get hit in the nose hard enough, it will bleed.
You sure?
If you break your finger, everywhere you touch on your body is going to be painful. So there you go.
Painful where you touched it or in your finger?
It's going to be painful in your finger. Let's be
okay. Just we've got to be accurate here.
So, Demon, you hit it right on the damn head.
Yep.
I don't know what got us in trouble. I'm waiting on a reply. Their reply was initially they're not going to remove the strike due to the same thing that they told me to initially, right? So I requested exact information. Am I going to get it? Probably not. I've been successful on getting strikes removed. That's not our first one that we've gotten. We've got several, actually. But anyway, what's up, Highlander? No, the one and only nobody here is a part of Angry Viking. Angry Viking ceased to exist a long time ago. I think his name is Fat Ass Texan or some shit like that now. I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, quite a few of us were members back in the day.
But yeah, we were associated with that collective group of patriots. I'm sorry, y'all. I have no filter tonight.
Well, the people weren't that bad. It was everyone running it. They were all, in my opinion, especially the guy that called himself Angry Viking, douchebag. But anyway. Just my opinion.
What's up, Jay? Yeah, so there's several things we're going to talk about tonight. I guess y'all can see the title, and I kind of renamed it a little bit, T, which I'm sure you're good with. Throw a little spin on the end.
There you go.
But yeah, so we'll talk about those two specifically, and we're going to throw some other things in there. Probably lay a line out about something else. Yeah, we'll put it all in a baggie and talk about it. Y'all get what I'm doing there, don't you?
Yep.
You're already kind of leading me up to it, so,
Well, apparently at the White House.
In the West Wing.
YouTube, this is not accurate information. It is just
what we've heard.
A collection of what we have seen on the news.
It's been reported.
CNN, Communist News Network,
Newsmax.
They've all covered it, right? Okay, so this is not misinformation. It's what we got directly from the news that was provided. So there was, I don't know the exact amount or anything like that. So there was a substance that is illegal for any of us to have
Well,
found in the White House, right?
let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
They shut down the White House and blocks around the White House for hazmat because a unknown hazardous material was found, and then it came out that it was in the White House in the West Wing, and it was in, a white powdery substance. Now, go ahead, Vanguard. Continue.
So, and it was confirmed that it was cocaine via firefighter, I believe it was. Correct?
That or a hazmat. They
Yeah,
tested
it
it.
was some sort of a public safety entity that they let the dispatch leak come out. Okay, um, I mean,
It was
I don't know.
cocaine and like some sodium whatever chloride deal that is a numbing agent. Like if you have like nasal surgery or something like that, it numbs your nose. But it was cocaine and that.
So you can get completely fucked up without the burn.
Yes.
Gotcha. Or if you use it a lot and you've got a lot of nasal irritation, like if you blow your nose a lot or wipe your nose, it gets kind of sore. It's kind of
I would imagine that all that tissue up in there is rotted out for that fucktard. I mean, I'm surprised he's got teeth.
Well, those are all fake teeth.
I mean,
there's no telling. I mean, he's a good kid. I'm proud of him. He
I love
invented,
Highlander.
he
You
invented the
know,
first.
you need to look at him as a role model.
Yeah,
And
hell yeah. Taste the rainbow.
yeah,
No, that's for Pride Month, dude.
No. You don't remember that picture I showed you?
Oh yeah, I do now.
Skittles.
That's right. Damn.
Skittle dick.
y'all just need to kick back with your Bud Lights, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, they're in a world of shit now because the conservatives and the rednecks and southerners and anybody else that's got common sense has thrown their beer to the side. Now the LGBTQ has thrown it to the side. Did y'all see that?
No.
So Dylan Mulvaney came out with a video announcing his, she, thee, they, him, her, whatever, that they're disappointed in Bud Light for not standing behind their decision to go into an agreement with him. So yeah,
Oh well.
Over the 4th, when we were at the lake, I saw a 18 pack of Bud Light there at my parents'. I said something to my brother. I said, "Hey," I said, "what the fuck is this doing in the house?" And he said, "That's the most valuable Bud Light you ever buy." And I said, "It is?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "That's pre-gay."
Pre what?
Pre-gay. And I said, "I don't give a damn. Why is it here in the house?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Who brought it?" And he said, "I don't know." He said, you know, because I mean, they've got beer there, stuff people have brought and left and stuff like that. And he goes, "I don't know when, last time, because my brother doesn't drink Bud Light at all and never has." But he said, "Yeah," he said, "that's the most valuable Bud Light you'll ever buy." He said,
Oh, you cut out there, Moose.
"No," I said, "My brother said that's the most valuable Bud Light you'll ever buy." He said, "Because that's pre-gay." So he doesn't know who brought it, when it was brought. He said, but he knows it was brought before the whole queer deal.
So I've never really been a beer drinker anyway. So I don't know. And it definitely wasn't Bud Light.
Well, when I do drink beer, man, I don't really. I can buy a 6-pack; it'll last me 2 years. But I drink Miller Lite, so it didn't really affect me.
I'm of the mindset if I'm going to drink, it's going to be something like whiskey.
Yeah.
Don't got to down the whole bottle, but
What? Wait, what? What if I have high tolerance?
brother, to each their own.
Wait. What if a fifth looks like a 20-ounce Coke?
Brother, in your hands, I can believe that's just a damn big gulp to you.
See, Ranger's on my page, man. He's with me.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But there's nothing wrong with beer. You know, people's got their own preferences. I'm not a social drinker. I drink because it's good shit. You know.
Yep.
I mean, I can sit there and have a highball glass of whiskey right by myself, not to fit in, right? And I'm not an alcoholic. Y'all know what the difference is between an alcoholic and me is?
Alcoholics show the meetings.
No, an alcoholic needs a drink. I have one.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference.
There you go.
Oh, we got Sax Man in the house. Oh, what's up, Mama D? And eased in here. So anyway, we'll get into this. If y'all are not aware, and by the way, I hope everybody had a great Independence Day. I hope everybody remembered what it was actually for. And I'll give y'all some history on that a little later. Something that you don't know about. It's 1812. Some of y'all may know about that. Jay absolutely may know about the War of 1812. A lot of people don't know about it. But there was actually a war declaration between the U.S. and the British. But we'll go into that. It lasted 3 years. We'll talk about that. So that was actually our second Revolutionary War. And we'll talk about that. But
Battle of New Orleans, the whole thing.
So what we're actually going to talk about is several shootings that happened, you know, and here's the thing. The shooter, one of the shooters that we're going to talk about particularly was a BLM supporter, right? Big
And a
BLM.
sparkle fart.
I'm sorry, what?
He was a sparkle fart too.
Okay. And we're going to talk about that. Now, here's the fun fact. So you see videos all the time. You see BLM videos that the American flag is racist and, you know, so forth and so on, stuff like that, right? But it's funny that they're all out having these get-togethers and parties and shit for 4th of July, right? Which would technically be one of the most racist days in the world, right? White supremacy, 4th of July, right? Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
So this shooter decides he's going to go out and take some people's lives. Now, as far as I know, and if my information is correct, and T will adjust if I'm off course with this, but I am pretty certain that this was a straight black on black crime. Am I correct on that, T?
As far as I can tell, it looks like it, but I haven't been able to put my hands on the actual identities of who was shot as far as pictures. But this person has repeatedly gone on talking about, you know, coming after people and doing exactly what he did. And he was on parole, I believe, for a weapons violation, if I'm not mistaken, already.
Hang on a second. If he was on parole, how could he have a gun? Because the law says you can't have a gun if you're a felon or on parole or anything like that.
Bruh.
Those gun control laws really are working.
Well, you know, to hear him say it, we need more. Hold on, I'll try and give you that information. I'll just give me 1 second.
So while he's going over that, just to kind of let everybody know, there were a total of 17 mass shootings on the 4th of July holiday, with a total of 20 dead and 126 injured.
You need to give the definition of a mass shooting, though, because it changed like day to day and scenario and all that.
So just to be clear, this was not a what did they call that shit up there in Chicago? What was it? A agreed combat or whatever the hell it was. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, some goofy shit to kind of say it was okay for them to kill each other.
I would have called it a normal day in Chicago, but anyway.
So a mass shooting, everybody, the definition currently is a violent crime in which an attacker kills or injures multiple individuals simultaneously using a firearm.
Which means what, like 2 or more?
It actually does not have an amount on there anymore. It just says multiple.
Well, multiple would be anything you can multiply. So
more than one.
Yep. It becomes a party.
Because it used to be 3 or more.
Well,
and it actually said 3 or more people injured or killed. And that's why I said, you need to check the definition of what it is today, because they change it, hour to hour, day to day.
Well, they changed the definition to fit the narrative on the news.
Yeah.
Wikipedia will change every other hour if you don't watch it. I've got the information on Sparkle Farts. It had been arrested back in 2003 and charged with possession of a weapon without a license, carrying a firearm in public, and drug possession, according to Philadelphia court records. This is the same motherfucker that had the gun and whipped people up the other night. So,
real quick, 4 or more. And this is on the center of, I'm going to give a reference. This is on the Center of Disaster website. Okay, so a mass shooting describes a mass shooting as 4 or more people are shot or killed in a single incident.
By the way, that also includes the shooter. If the shooter shoots, let's say 3 people in that scenario and then takes their own life, that classifies as a mass shooting.
Correct.
I also have the names of the slain, if you want those.
Yes.
It looks like, now, forgive me, I may not be pronouncing these names right, but I'm going to do my best because I live in the hood. Lasheed Merritt, 20. Jameer Stanton, 29. Ralph Morales, 59. Daljon Brown, 15. And Joseph Lama Jr., 31. So I'm going to say by the names, and this is not me being racist or profiling or anything else, but by the names, I would say yes, it was probably black on black crime. At least most of the Ralph Morales, the odds are they were Hispanic. Just my 2 cents. But that's also why you're not hearing much about this either. So, because it doesn't fit the narrative. And this dude had body armor, or Sparkle Farts had body armor. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was bedazzled or not, but it did have body armor.
What city was this in?
Philadelphia, I believe.
Yes, Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm sure it's all Trump's fault. Him and the evil Republicans for stopping gun control, because I'm sure that would stop this. Yeah, we need better gun control laws to stop Sparkle Farts from getting firearms. When you already sell it.
The answer is always more laws. It's not enforceable.
Sure.
It's
easy for somebody to sit up in their ivory throne and look down at the little people and say, what's good for me is not good for you. You know, I have me a security detail. I'm above the law. But you little folks, y'all don't need access to these things.
Well, you know, we need more laws because that means people would abide by those laws. You know.
Sure. Yeah. 40 years ago, maybe.
You know, I mean, so I mean, we got to have more laws. What people don't understand, if we have more laws, people will live by them and abide by them. You know, instead of enforcing the laws we have already on the books, because you know, the laws on the books, you know, we just need to throw that one out and then enforce more. You know, and write more laws for us not to enforce.
Has anyone been following? I know it's kind of jumps off the rails here for a minute. Has anyone been following all the shit going on in France?
Not really.
France is doing what we should have done and what Canada should have done. And I hate to say that France is doing it because you always think of France as a bunch of, I don't know, weak-kneed folks. You don't expect them to have a backbone or fight. Oh, isn't that attractive? Don't you want to bring that home to introduce it to your parents?
So this is the shooter, everybody. And no, it's not a woman.
Sparkle farts. I mean, if you read up on this clown, they preached doing exactly what they did. They wanted to do something. They threatened and kept talking about this. So, you know, Sparkle Farts went out and got weapons. They ain't got body armor. And here's the thing. After they went and did all the shit and shot up everybody, they went down an alley and basically surrendered when the cops rolled up on them. When it got to the point where they had to face somebody who could actually fucking kill them, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, here, I'll surrender. I mean, I don't know which one looks better. They're both ugly as hell.
You make a good point, Jay. So YouTube, they have this person incarcerated as a male, just so you know. So I'm not biologically misgendering anyone. Just want to make sure that YouTube knows that the medical analysis of this human being is a male. Or that's what the jailhouse has him listed for. So clear that up.
He is not in a female prison.
Asshole.
Just saying.
Have y'all heard that some jails have gone to having like 3 sets of cells? You have male, female, and then transgender.
No, I haven't heard that. That's asinine, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Like I've heard, like some of the jails in California have started doing that.
Okay, well, dude, you got to look at the location. Fuck, that's like saying, you know, I don't know. There's nothing surprising about that. That'd be like, I mean, I can't even compare. I'm sure Chirac or the PRI is doing it. Wouldn't surprise me if New York's not doing it. You know, pick a blue shithole, and I guarantee you they're implementing something stupid.
Now, YouTube, this is just something I heard. You know, I'm not saying fact. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, you know, it could be like, you know, the story
It's a
of the
legend.
little pigs.
Legend. A legend. You know, we're only allowed to sling misinformation when it's somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, that's only when it's okay. Or Donald Trump. I mean, Russia collusion. I mean, there you go.
Didn't Donald Trump have a Russian salad one time or something?
Doesn't he what?
Didn't he have like a Russian salad for lunch one time?
I don't know. Just saying, two sets of rules.
Well, I was just asking. You know, I didn't know. So,
I mean, you know, I want to make sure we keep things real with Screw 2. I want them to, you know that we take them seriously. And we happily await, you know, them fact checking anything we're saying, because we know that that's what they do. You know, at least the ones who are out there trying to spread the truth.
but back to let me kind of use the famous line of circle back to something real quick. Have they ever found out where the white bag of powdery substance that was found in the West Wing of the White House, like who dropped it or who planted it or who, whatever, however it got there? Have they ever found out the person who brought it in?
Negative.
If they do, you'll never hear about it. They'll keep that shit under wraps because of where it took place. There's so many layers there to cover that shit up from the Secret Service down. I mean, you'll never know. You'll never know where it came from. You'll never know who it belonged to, and you'll never know the true ingredients per se, what grade it was.
I mean, so I could say hypothetically that it was a tourist that was coming through to bring the president's son a gift.
I personally think it was a new type of flour they were trying, and it's all misunderstanding.
Make those special biscuits. Gotcha.
They wanted to make some powdered donuts. Got some things mixed up.
I do love funnel cakes.
Well, you know, he did say he likes Parmesan cheese in an interview or something, because he said he was like picking it out of his carpet or something like that, if I remember right, in an interview. That's why I was just wondering. Yeah.
You know, he's just misunderstood. He's a good boy. Ben Shitter's just trying to look out for him because he's too inept to look out for himself.
So, any of y'all going to buy his artwork?
No, not unless I can pay for it with pesos.
Well, I'm sure he'd take pesos, crypto, and any form of payment.
I don't want nothing pertaining to him unless I can get a copy of a docket where his ass gets locked up in prison.
You know, we could send him an Arkansas stripper. He tends to like them, I hear.
I don't know, brother. I do not know.
I mean, we have living, breathing proof that he likes Arkansas strippers. So, you know, better known as a bedroom trophy. So, you know, like I said, maybe make a deal, send a few Arkansas strippers to him. You know.
Well, my philosophy is like this. I truly believe that even the Democrats and the media that have been protecting this bunch of shitbags all this time are beginning to wake up and realize what a lame duck, bed-shitting catastrophe this is. And they're going to have to dump him. So that's why you're seeing more and more stuff come up in the media and more stuff about the whistleblowers and this other stuff, because if they wanted to, they would bury all that. Okay?
Well, I mean, it seems like every week there is a new story coming out, that you haven't heard, and it's getting at this point where you're going, okay, we can't just keep doing this over and over and over and
I
over.
know that's what I'm saying. It's gotten so out of control. All the stupid ass policies and ignorance and wokeism, whatever the fuck, anything that's a bad idea, this administration just jumps all over. All right, from the economy to sparkle fart pride, whatever, they're all up in it. Okay, pissing people off. The Democrats, the DNC, just like the RNC, regard two things more than anything: money and power. Okay? So they're going to want to keep their asses reelected and keep being sycophants off the people of the United States, drawing that free money because they don't do their fucking job. Politicians have been doing their job for years. But he's making it where they're going to be unelectable because they're the ones who supported this shitbag getting elected. And the DNC sees that he's damaged goods, and that's putting it nice. So they're going to be looking to dump him. I don't know who they're going to dump him for, but they're going to dump him. I don't believe they're going to let him get the nomination.
Well,
I might be wrong.
I think when you see Gavin Newsom jump in, that's when it's going to be officially over for him.
I agree, probably, because Kennedy's not going to get it.
I
don't see Kennedy getting it either. So there's somebody else hanging out in the wings. And when you start hearing that little bit of whisper in the background on one person or another, whether it's Newsom or Michael Obama or whoever.
Nancy Pelosi.
Dude. Can you see her vodka-laden, stumbling ass trying to make a speech?
Well, you know who her running mate's going to be, don't you? What's the other melted candle?
Oh, you're talking about Mad Maxine.
Yeah, Maxine Waters. They're going to take the motherfucking White House by storm.
She was like a rotten fucking raisin.
Somebody
with
can
a bad
wake up out of that nightmare.
I mean, that's two fucked up individuals right there that should have retired 20 years ago or been incarcerated, one or the other. Yeah, Diane Frankenstein, I forgot about her, but she's about shot too. I think she's lost her shit. Isn't that the one that had a stroke or something? And I think it was Feinstein that she was retiring or not going. I forget. One of them had some medical condition. I thought it was her. She was the one that was always trying to be a gun grabber. But yeah, I think Newsom's a strong possibility because it gives the Pelosi's that way in to manipulate the government and manipulate different things. It also gives I still say, as much as I hate to say this because it's like the Antichrist, I think Michael Obama could come in there as a VP. That'd be like the triumvirate of evil. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm reading the tea leaves completely wrong, and y'all can tell me that shit when it happens. But I'd rather prepare for the worst and be pleasantly surprised when it's not true. Thoughts?
I think Newsom, he's kind of hinted, his actions and stuff. He wants that 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue address. The VP candidate, that one I don't know. That one I really don't know. But I'm really surprised he hadn't announced yet. That he's running. When is his term up as governor?
I'm not sure. Let's see. We can look it up. his term ends January 4th, 2027. If I was gonna make a bet on that, I don't think he's gonna run for president.
He'll wait till his term's up as governor, and then
He'll wait until 2027 to do it.
and then
So that's even more scary. So who they got hanging out there that we ain't thought about? Because when they brought Obama in, you'd never heard of that motherfucker. Okay? Does anybody remember that? You'd heard a little bit of talk about him as a junior senator or some shit or something for the PRI. He was never there to vote on anything. He was always either would abstain or not show up and be absent or whatever, because he was organizing communities, I'm sure. With Reverend Wright, they had to take care of some shit. But just saying, they pulled a fast one with that one. What have they got in the wings now? Because I'm telling you, there's no way they're going to let Bedshitter be the nominee. They won't. They know it's a train wreck.
Well, aside from all the negative PR, his family members have gotten him, he's doing exactly what they want him to do, which is, hey, sign this, do this, do this, do that. I mean, he is one hell of a yes man.
Yeah, he is. But
so, I mean, I could see it, them kind of going, all right, if we can just put up with it through the election, and then get all what we can out of him next term. If he gets reelected, then, but I could see them going, enough's enough.
I don't see Biden in it again. I don't know.
There's only one way Biden can get the nomination, and that's if he starts a war. If he starts a war, which that's not beyond the realm of possibility with all the dumb shit that him and Mandarin Millie are doing. If he starts a war, that'll be his end. And what will happen, he'll start the war, and they'll spin it where they keep him in office, and then somewhere during the conflict, they'll remove him for something and have somebody step in and take his place. My opinion, again. And I guarantee you they don't want Camel Toe Harris up in there. They hate her. She's as popular as a cross-eyed, one-legged French whore. It had to be.
Harris, I'd be kind of surprised if he picks her, as quote running mate for the second term, or as VP for a second term.
It'll be her.
Because what you says.
It'll be her.
I don't see it, man. I don't know. I'd kind of be a little surprised.
He's not going to dump her, because if he does that, he loses whatever fucking brain damage supporter she's got. He's not going to kick her to the curb because she came in with him. They're going to go down on the ship together, those two. Either they're going to start a fucking war and he's going to slide in a second term that way, or the DNC's going to find a way to remove him.
I mean, if China invades Taiwan, where you go ahead and say, we're going to go to war. But this crap with Ukraine, I think they're just going to keep pouring money in it because, I think they're actually laundering the money back here somehow or another. I mean, hell, Lindsey Graham, he's a damn warmonger. So he's all about, let's go to war, let's go to war. War is the only answer. No, it's not.
No, he's wanting Halliburton to make some money, and every damn body else, McDonnell Douglas, Grumman, Boeing. I mean, pick a platform that don't build military shit. All of them are tied up in it making money. Freedom's got a point about the nuclear powers, too. I mean, I truly I truly don't see a nuke being set off on our soil necessarily. I'd be very surprised if a nuke was set off anywhere, because it could get out of control too fast. And I think ultimately this whole conflict is about making money, at least from our side with the politicians. And I think that even Putin understands that if he nukes somebody or nukes something, that's going to be something that he can't spin the media. You know, the whole world will turn against him if he kills. I mean, think about if he was to set off a bomb. Let's say he hits. Let's say that he was to nuke Warsaw. It's not going to be about the military assets he stopped, NATO base, or anything else. It would be about all the innocents he killed. But again, Live Freedom brings up another point about the nuclear plants that, you know, if something happens to them, the NATO would jump in, and there goes World War III. I mean, he's right. I just don't know if Putin's going to do that. Putin wants that land back. He don't want to make it uninhabitable. Or am I wrong? That's the impression I get. He wants the land back, right?
Yeah, he said he has said that he wants to redo the old Soviet Union. You know,
right? He wants to restore it. Well, if you turn it into a fucking heap of molten slag, what are you going to do? Turn it into a fucking gulag and send all your garbage there?
But another thing is too is what if he's the fucking kid in the sandbox, you know, and he's like, if I can't have it, nobody else can.
Well, true. I mean, I can see that, but does Putin strike you as that kind of dude?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Here's the thing though, guys. So Putin cannot launch nukes by itself. Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
There's protocols in place. I can't remember how many it is, but there's a certain amount of them, and they all have to agree to it. So he can't just pop up and say, "All right, send the nukes." It doesn't work that way. If one of those generals don't agree to tie in, then they can't send anything.
Right.
So the only hopes that everybody's got is if he does go that route, that there's one of them in there that has a little bit of sense. So, yeah.
I think Putin's smart enough that he knows if he does that, you know, he didn't just poke the bear, he hit the bear with a baseball bat. And he's not just going to have America coming at him, it's going to be everybody.
I don't think he's worried about America.
You know, I don't think he is either. But I think he's worried about, you know, everybody else coming at him. So, I mean, the war in Ukraine is going to go on for a long time, in my opinion. You know, and then the question we need to be asking is, all right, if or when he takes Ukraine, is he going to go after Poland? That's the question we should be kind of wondering, because Poland, if I'm not mistaken, was part of the old Soviet Union.
It's part of the Eastern Bloc. It wasn't part of the Soviet Union. Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia. I think there's another country, but I can't think of the name of it. All of those got their independence and became their own states. I could see him going after all those, but the Eastern Bloc consisted back in the day of what? Romania, Yugoslavia, Poland, East Germany. It seems like I think it was Turkey. It was somebody else. Somebody help me here because I'm failing. Apparently, I slept through that class in high school. But yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
T, it's only been what, you're coming up on your 90-year reunion for high school, so
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
you know, so
We didn't have buses. We
life's
just walked
changed.
30 miles.
Yeah, uphill both ways, right?
That's it. That's it.
But, I mean,
Uphill both ways. That's the only way to travel when you got to go to school. And 3 feet of snow. You add that in.
when y'all got sandals, what was that like compared to when you got shoes?
It was a little different. You had wrapping feet up. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess anything can happen. Our freedom makes a good point. And again, it's just my opinion. There's more, I feel like there's more at play here than just blowing shit up. I think that ultimately Putin and China really want to fuck the American economy. They want to flatline us and turn us into another fucking Mexico. That's what they'd like to see. And if he was to basically nuke something, whatever the reason, that might make that whole thing fall apart. Maybe I'm wrong. Czechoslovakia, wasn't there Bulgaria when that one too?
Yeah, Bulgaria was one.
Yeah. There you go. Highlander's got my brain working. So, but yeah, I mean, anything can happen. The thing that worries me is we've got such weak leadership in Washington and the Joint Chiefs and whatnot with Mander and Milley. I mean, we just recently told Taiwan in so many words, that we don't support their independence. Well, you basically threw them to the fucking wolves. We're sending troops and doing all this other shit, but we don't support their independence. Can you help me to understand that rationale? How does that work? You know?
I don't understand how as much money and military aids we've sent to Ukraine, how they haven't been able to run Russia out of there yet. But that's just me.
Well, who knows how much of that shit was either sold, stolen, repurposed, or to pay off shady shit that was already going on over there with our own politicians or government. There's got to be a reason we dumped so much treasure on that shithole country outside of Russia. It doesn't make sense. Why would you be so up in arms and worried about this pissant country that was basically the money laundering capital of Europe? Why are you so concerned about it? Why is it so important? It's not, to me, it's not any strategic importance to NATO because it's not a NATO country.
We got a NATO country right to their north called Poland.
Right, I understand that, but I'm saying the whole premise doesn't make sense. We shouldn't have been involved to begin with. There has to be an underlying motive that we're not privy to. There's a reason why they dumped so much shit into that country. I mean, think about, 8 months ago, maybe closer to a year. Think about when all that shit first popped off in that country. And you can go on Flight Radar or whatever the hell it is and watch all the fucking military traffic just covering the skies up. It's like everybody was losing their shit. We were constantly ferrying shit over there on damn transports. Why?
Mm.
And if things are so fucking bad, how did the president of that backwater former Russian country have time to meet with Greta Thunberg about global warming? Can you tell me that? Your fucking country's invaded, but you can go visit folks.
And don't forget about all the people coming to visit him from Hollywood just to shoot the shit and say hi.
I don't, things don't add up. And look, I never served. I don't begin to understand all the nuances. I understand some of the stuff. But just from my civilian standpoint, looking at it, there's a bunch of shit here that makes no sense. Never has. We should have never fucking been involved. We've done everything but commit fucking troops, boots on the fucking ground in the country. We've done everything but that. Think about it. Our grandkids be paying us fucking debt.
We're never going to get the debt paid off.
Well, okay, that may be, but that's because you got a bunch of fucktard politicians, bottom feeders in fucking Washington, that can't pass a fucking budget because then they'd be accountable. I've never seen anything run without a fucking budget. And it can be done. They just kick the shit down the road because it doesn't fit what they want to do.
No, they don't kick shit down the road. They just say fire the print press, we'll pay it off.
Well, you can't print fucking monopoly money and bail yourself out. It don't work.
Well, they think it does. I mean, and one thing that kind of pisses me off is they think they know how to spend your money better than you know how to spend your money.
Yep. That's the way it's always been.
You know, if you ever try to go, well, you know what? I want my tax dollars to pay this and pay this and pay this. Oh, hell no. You know, they ain't going to happen that way.
Well, only time's going to tell what's happening. If we don't get this current regime out of the White House this next election, I'd be willing to say that this republic's done. It's not going to recover.
Isn't it like 250 years is about the longest the republic has ever lasted?
The shelf life, 200 some odd years. It varies a little bit, but I know what you're talking about. And basically, this country is following exactly in those footsteps on that blueprint, doing everything that brings them down in the long run, because people get lazy and complacent, and the people in power basically become little dictators, and it starts transforming. And that's what we're seeing. We're living in that time. And if people aren't willing to say enough, then that's where we're headed. And, you know, this next election, I can't stress enough. If they win this next election, the Republic's dead. There's only one way it's going to change, and I ain't saying it on here because I'm not getting us another fucking strike. You know what I'm talking about, Vanguard.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do something that I have a lot of problems doing, and it's keeping my right to remain silent. So I want to do it just because we don't need the strike.
Nope, we do not. I'm just going to kumbaya that bitch. So, but I don't want to see this country go to hell in a handbasket. But if you keep the current regime in there, that's where it's destined to go.
But I would encourage people to do one thing: read the Book of Revelations and look around what's going on now.
Yeah. Go open your damn eyes. It will open your eyes. You know, we're witnessing things that I never thought we would in my lifetime. You know, so it is what it is. Well,
It's pretty damn sad, actually.
yeah, it is. It is. I dread thinking about what it's gonna be for our kids and grandkids. It's not gonna be better, I don't think, but I could be wrong. But I don't see it being better.
You know, I'm gonna switch gears. The Supreme Court, last week had a couple of rulings. One of them, which I thought was it was good, because they told that website designer that she didn't have to design websites if she didn't religiously or whatever agree with it, and it was kind of like the cake the cake baker.
Yep, I remember that.
And all these people are talking about, well, the people that come in there and want to do business with her and this and that. And well, what about her feelings? Nobody thought about that. What about her rights?
Rights. Look,
they want to talk
stop.
They want to talk about the customer's rights and all that.
There's only one set of rules.
But what about the other person? The person that's doing it. What about their rights? It's a two-way street, not a one-way.
It's kind of like democratic math. You know, it changes. So, I mean, I think it's great they did that, but correct me if I'm wrong, talking on that news, don't I recall the cake person having to ultimately they couldn't go out on religious beliefs, they had to go ahead and do sparkle fart cakes?
Yes.
So, if the Supreme Court...
hang on. If my memory serves me correctly, which there's a lot of cobwebs in my memory, so...
Well, I mean, okay, let's just do a hypothetical. If that's true, then what the Supreme Court just said and ruled overrules the sparkle fart cakes. Because that's the same difference. You're providing a service to individuals who go against your religious beliefs. So if your religious beliefs say sparkle farts are deviants, which I'm cool with that, then it kind of says it all.
Well, it kind of takes away, in my opinion, from the whole we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone.
Yeah.
It kind of goes against that. If you don't want to sell something to somebody, you don't have to.
Well, remember when you used to go in a restaurant, and I'm sure there's still some out there you see, but they say no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Well, see, one place I've ever seen those is Florida and Georgia. But, but those people there are ass backwards anyway.
Well, it is what it is. But I see where you're coming from. I'm just saying there's some... to me, it's government overreach. The government shouldn't be able to step in and tell me how I have to run my business. It's my fucking business. You didn't invest in it. You're not here fucking working 20 hours a fucking day trying to keep it afloat. So fuck you. But see, that's not how it bounces. So.
And wasn't there a gun one also last week?
A what?
Wasn't there one that involved firearms last week? The Supreme Court, when they dump.
I don't know if there was one that was necessarily regarding firearms. Demon would know more about that than I do because he follows it a lot more. I know that there's going to be some stuff going to them eventually. You look and see.
But yeah, I was really proud the Supreme Court ruled on that lady's side, and you know, gave
Well,
her
right
her
now,
rights back.
right now, everybody's pissed off at the Supreme Court about the affirmative action, and I mean, it makes sense to me. Why wouldn't you want a school to set their entrance exams, or how they're going to want the best of the best, right? Because that makes their school look better, makes them more money, et cetera, et cetera. Because if you get a bunch of people in there, they're high achievers, they get their degrees, they go out into the world, other people will want to come to the same school they did because look what it produced. If you get a bunch of knuckle dragging fucktards, they're going to say, it's like a damn junior college. Am I right?
Well, actually, you're kind of putting the bar a little higher than it should be at saying a junior college.
Well, okay, but it's sending the same message.
I mean, you know, they're not earning their grades on merit; they're earning it on, oh, well, I'm, you know, a white male, blah blah blah, you know, or whatever, or black male, blah blah blah, you know. So you need to give me my A. You know, not because I actually went out, read the book, studied, did my homework, you know, and earned that grade.
No, I totally agree. It should be based on merit. That's what it should have always been. But again, the problem is that this affirmative action was put in place to. Well, I'm not going to say why it was put in place. Again, I think it was pandering, but it's put in place to achieve something. And what's happened is it was manipulated and used for something else, and it no longer is a useful tool. It should have been done away with years ago. Let people get in on their merit. I hate to tell everyone out there this, but what you need to understand is no matter how much you don't like it or how much bullshit stuff in your head or whatever Drano you're drinking that's making you think this shit, sparkle farts, African Americans, or whatever the fuck it is you're championing, they're not the majority. Okay? Just putting it out there. You can sit there and push it, dream it, chant it, bitch about it, whatever you want to do. It's not going to change the fucking facts mathematically. Okay? Stop trying to push your fucking agenda onto everybody else and trying to make excuses and other things to give people benefits over everybody else. It's not my fault that you've got different nationalities in this country. The whole point was to have different nationalities in this country. That's what makes this country unique. Okay? The problem is you get these other cultures and they don't want to fucking assimilate as Americans. And then they want to bitch because they're treated differently. Well, not my damn fault. Make a better choice.
You know, if a person is a dickhead or, you know, rude or whatever, you know, that person is a prick. You don't have to sit there and go, no, dude, you have to be nice, blah, blah, blah. No, that's that person's right. That's called being an American. If that person is really a nice person, you know, polite, everything else. See what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to, and the whole label thing and everything else. No, you need to identify, like you said, as an American. You know, you don't need to identify as, oh, I'm Latino, African, French American. No, you identify as an American.
Well, I agree. That's what I used to say when people say they're African American. I said, no, you aren't. You're either African American. Which one are you? They just look at you. So
Well, the thing is people they've converted from having a sense of pride in something to having a sense of relevance, right? So if they come up with the most unique fucking outrageous identification for themselves, then they're unique, right? Everybody wants to be their own person, even if it makes them look like an utter and complete asshole, which I've never understood it. And yeah, I'm all about people being their own person, but do it for the right reasons. Don't be some oddball outlander in order to ruin somebody else's fucking life. If you're weird and an undocumented case of mental suppression, then you do that shit on your fucking own. Don't drag me down the hole. Don't push your bullshit on me. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I got enough candles burning on both ends, and I just don't want to hear that shit. But it happens daily. You can't even watch TV without some sort of bullshit coming on there every day. I mean, every single day. It's just, I don't know. So it's overwhelming, and if it doesn't piss people off, then there's something wrong with those people that's watching it. Just saying. So, yeah, rant.
Preach.
Don't stop. Keep going.
Well, I don't know. Usually when I get annoyed in a public setting, it tends to drive people's comfortabilities to zero. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? Sometimes people just need to be fucking uncomfortable.
Sometimes people just need to shut up and hear it.
I mean, I have the same problem at family get-togethers, brother. You know, I'm going to try and stay in my lane, but if I hear you spout off some nonsense, kind of poking the bear there.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm real quick. I like to consider myself as a well-rounded, calm individual, but like you're saying, if somebody puts it out there and it strikes that nerve, I'm coming with both barrels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple.
Absolutely.
I was at a family get-together, this was a couple of years ago, and I had a cousin that was sitting there bitching about being arrested. I got arrested, cops, blah, blah, they did this and that. And I was like, okay. And I let him sit there and, and after about 10 minutes of maybe 15, I said, and what did you do to deserve that interaction with the cop? And he was, I was driving down the road and they just pulled me over for no reason. I said, no reason, huh? And he said, yeah. And I said, you got a DWI. There was a reason they pulled you over. I have a feeling you were probably swerving across both lanes, and then they stopped you to see what was up. And then he said, well, they could have let me go. I said, yeah, and then it endangered everyone else. I said,
Yep.
You knew you were breaking the law. You knew that, nobody made you drink. That was your choice. I said, now you get to deal with the fucking consequences.
Exactly.
And, I mean, he didn't like the shut up, grown up, and deal with it.
Well, look, the phrase is you got to pay to play didn't just come out of thin air.
Nope.
I mean, if you're going to have a damn hard head, you better have a soft ass. Everybody's heard that phrase. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. You're right.
I don't know. And I'll say this openly, and it may offend some. It may bring an uprising in feelings on some people. But at what point did Americans become such fucking pussies? That's what I'm going to say.
When people stopped owning their mistakes and started blaming others for them.
That was part of it. Yeah. Well, think about how people raise kids now.
Oh, it's not your fault.
Well, I mean, how many people do you know that raise their kids like we were raised, per se?
I can tell you one.
I know one.
Okay, I understand that, but you also understand that both of you are outliers.
Exactly.
Probably. I mean,
That's the problem.
somebody threatened to call DHS on me because I spanked my kid in the middle of Walmart, and I said, "Well, if you're gonna call him, let me know when you actually call him. That way, it gives me at least 15 minutes to handle my business."
See, you're a better man than me because if somebody said they were, I said, well, if you're gonna go ahead and call them, I gotta go to jail. I might as well beat the shit out of you and make
Yeah,
it.
go ahead and call them. Their response time is
That
23 minutes. So after I spank my kid's ass, I'll be whipping yours.
was kind of my point.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I mean, if I'm going to jail, it's like my dad used to tell me when he was living. If you're gonna go to jail, son, go to jail for something you can brag about.
Oh shit!
I mean, he had a point.
Hey,
You know,
you gotta be 100% no matter what.
That's it. That's it. So, it is what it is.
Mm.
Well, I feel like we came back strong, Vanguard. How about you?
Yeah, I liked it. I missed doing it. I mean,
Yeah, big time.
it just happened to fall in the holidays. We were going to try to do that one Thursday, last Thursday, but the 14th day didn't end until midnight on a Thursday. So imagine that. They couldn't give me the strike on a fucking Wednesday. I mean, what the fuck?
They want to make sure that they probably look back at when we do our lives. So we'll do this day now. Fuck them for 2 full weeks.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
fucking asshats.
You gotta love it.
All right, well, Moose, go ahead and leave them with some wisdom there, buddy.
All right, some wisdom. My grandfather, he always said 3 things you never waste. He said one of them, he said, you never pass up a bathroom. It says when you get old, you never pass up a bathroom. Second one, he said, you don't ever trust a fart. And the third one, he said, you don't ever waste a hard on.
Damn.
Now, that was his advice. Now, my advice would be, in this crazy day and age, everybody seriously be aware of your surroundings. Watch out. Keep your head on a swivel, and just be careful. I mean, you don't know what people are going to do, what they want, what their true intentions are, or anything. So, just prepare yourself for the worst, and just be prepared. So that'd be my advice.
Nice. All right, T, what you got, bud?
A couple things. First, I know I've kind of glazed over the whole France thing. If you can, and you're able to find some videos because they yank them down about as fast as they get posted. You really need to investigate that because people in France are fed up and they're taking to the streets. I'm not talking about just a handful. I'm talking every fucking body's fed up. Look into it. It's pretty eye-opening. It's kind of what should have happened some other places already, and it hasn't. That being said, like Moose was saying, you keep your head on a swivel. Watch what's going on locally, nationally, internationally. Anything can pop off anytime, and it will directly impact you one way or the other. And last but not least, if you're not strapped, get strapped. That's all I got.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Like we said, happy to be back. Maybe we'll keep it clean for 90 days. If not, they'll knock us off. I don't remember how many days they'll knock us off if we get another one. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I didn't look too much into it. But hopefully, I'll get another response from them. I'll keep aggravating them either way. Anyway, thank y'all for coming by. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, tell everybody about it. Let's get some people on the channel. Let's spread the word. If y'all got some topics that y'all want to talk about, please let us know. There's several ways to reach out. You can leave a comment here. Most of y'all have direct contact with me via other routes. you can do that as well. Check out the website. I forgot to put that up there. It's in the description, everybody. If y'all want to check that out, we do have our own website. It is Vanguard 1776 2.0. Supposed to be 2.0. But anyway, y'all check that out. It's a social media app for patriots and conservatives. It is free to join. It has its own phone app. It works with iPhone, Apple, Android, all that. It works on all of them. So anyway, thank y'all for coming by. Remember to always stay safe. And like they said, keep your head on a swivel. See you guys. Take care.
Night, everyone.
All right.